Causes of the Civil War paper slideshow. Slavery. Slavery began in America when African slaves were brought to Jamestown in 1619. The slaves built economic foundation of the nation. The cotton gin made a higher need for slaves in the South. The North believed that slavery was wrong, however, but the South still owned slaves. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Published on March 20th, 1852, Uncle Tom's Cabin sold 300,000 copies within 3 months. The book depicted slavery in a way that was unseen before because the author was part of the Underground Railroad. Tariffs, or taxes on imported goods, were used to profit the North. The North was heavily industrial with lots of factories, however the South relied on agriculture alone. First, the U.S. imported most of its goods from Britain and other European countries for itself, but then the North could start producing its own goods instead, and so the North pushed tariffs to force Southerners to buy Northern products instead of the imports. This did not help the South in any way. A new tariff was then pushed on cloth and iron, pushing the South to the limit. The South answered to the tariffs proposed by John C. Calhoun was when South Carolina threatened to secede. They could declare a federal law void. Federal government saw this as treason, passed the bill allowing the president to use the Navy and enforce laws. The reasons behind nullification were that the federal government only existed by the will of the states, or the South believed that the U.S. was a confederation. States' rights. States' rights actually were a really old idea and they started in America with the 13 colonies in the 1700s. It refers to when political power is made up of states instead of the federal government. The nullification crisis was one of the biggest examples. They believe states have rights over the government, and since they ratified the Constitution, they should be able to deny it also. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln had a neutral stance on slavery because it was vital to the Southern economy. He opposed the expansion of slavery, so after his election, 7 Southern states seceded from the Union. Secessionism began on December 20th, 1860, when 11 states in the South seceded ties and severed ties with the Union. They set up a government at Montgomery, Alabama, until the war broke out on Fort Sumter, starting the Civil War. Fort Sumter. Major Robert Anderson moved his men to Fort Sumter, a very dangerous move since South Carolina had seceded. Following Lincoln's inauguration in March, Anderson's supplies were running out and the Confederacy grew impatient. Thursday, April 11th, 1861, Confederate General P.G.T. Beauregard requested the fort surrender, but Anderson refused. 4:30 a.m., Confederate batteries were firing on Fort Sumter, going on for 34 hours. Anderson's men did not have the supplies to fight back and did not until 5 hours later. Eventually, Anderson surrendered, but there were luckily no casualties on either side.
All right.